But the message really is every meeting has to have value. Parents have to walk away and go, that was worth my time. I learned something today. I contributed something today, something tangible, something meaningful, and I'm walking out looking forward to when I can come back. Don't just have on your agenda, we're going to review the minutes, we're going to review the finances, and we're going to look at fundraising. Council Chair, starting out very, very early, I understood that the way to keep parents coming back was to give them something to come back for. So every meeting, I planned something, either a speaker or sometimes a teacher. Respectful meetings. Set the conditions right at the beginning of the year and at every meeting on how you operate meetings. They will be held in a respectful and dignified manner. Everyone will have a voice at the table, and everyone will allow that person to speak and to hear them. And every opinion matters. They are key to successful school councils. The Ministry of Education actually has a code of ethics for school councils. So many times people walk away going, well, they really don't care to hear my side. I don't have a voice because everyone shouts. The people who've been here for so long just think they know it all and they want to do it their way, right? Open up those councils for good people, good work, good ideas. That's how you build a successful council. Survey people and see what they would like to know about and have that speaker at your school council. It may be healthy lunches, it may be, have the policemen come in and talk about road safety for those who are walking to school, and by running respectful meetings where everyone feels they can contribute. That's what we want to teach our children. We want to teach them to be strong, powerful, and respectful leaders when they leave school. Because it's got to be more than just, we open the meeting at 7, we read the minutes at 7:15, we have the principal report at 7:30, we have the chair report, okay, good night. No, it's got to be more. It's got to be much more. It's got to be valuable meetings, it's got to be speakers, it's got to be refreshments, it's got to be get to know each other. All those things are so important. We need a plan. The plan helps you add value to your school council. The plan helps you get parents involved because they know why they're involved. They know what you're working on. You can communicate it in your newsletter, your website, your school council special newsletter, events. When people know what the plan of the council is, they buy in, and then they might come along and say, I see one of your goals is to do X, right? So a plan, and one night we'll do a whole session on planning, because I think it's a whole night discussion on how to do a short and long-term plan. But your first thing is, very easy, get to know what the school goals are. What are your school goals? Because every school has a 3-year plan. Did you know that? So knowing they have a 3-year plan, that plan is based on the board 3-year plan, which is usually on the board website. So then you can get to know, what does our board want to do in the next 3 years? What does our school want to do in the next 3 years? How can we as a council support the school goals in the next 3 years? And develop a plan, a short-term plan for the present year, and a long-term plan with action items on how to get there for a 3-year period. But your first thing is, very easy, get to know what the school goals are. What are your school goals? Because every school has a 3-year plan. Did you know that? So knowing they have a 3-year plan, that plan is based on the board 3-year plan, which is usually on the board website. So then you can get to know, what does our board want to do in the next 3 years? What does our school want to do in the next 3 years? How can we as a council support the school goals in the next 3 years? And develop a plan, a short-term plan for the present year, and a long-term plan with action items on how to get there for a 3-year period. You probably picked up a brochure tonight on creating 3-year plans. Appreciate your volunteers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Constantly, thank you. And some people say to me, why should I thank them? No one thanked me. Like, I didn't get thanked, and I'm here doing all the slugging and the hard work. Well, just remember that a little dose of kindness goes a long way. And a thank you will get people coming back because they feel appreciated. And that's really important, the school council work. Support the ethnic and diverse cultures of the school. If you need translators, go to the board and arrange them. Ask through your principal. How can we get a translator to support our parents? Because every parent is a vital part of the school, and every parent is a vital part of the school council, and they deserve to have translators so they can play a full and knowledgeable role at the school. You may have a speaker on special education. You know, a lot of our parents have spec ed concerns, and if they know that the school council is also interested in that, arrange for either the spec ed teacher, somebody from your board. It doesn't have to cost money. It's spec ed programs are offered at the school. How many do you have in spec ed? Is there a way or something that the school council can do to support that area of education in the school? Keep meetings on time. Now that might be a challenge tonight because I really talk a lot, but it's really important. That's why we asked your permission to extend the start time. Recognize that people are giving up of their evening. Start on time, end on time, or at least get permission from the majority that you can delay, because you then respect them enough to say, we would like to start on time for you, but if you're willing to give us 10 or 15 minutes, we'll allow other people to join us. Give everyone a voice. We've talked about that. No one wants to talk when everybody's talking over them. Ask people to have the courtesy to raise their hand as an effective chair. Ask them if they'll raise their hand in order that they can be recognized and they don't get missed. So it's important to put the message out in that way, not like, well, we want you to raise your hand so people aren't talking. No, you know, we want to be sure we don't miss you. So please raise your hand and we'll get to everyone in the order of which they've raised their hand to speak. And please speak to the issue. So when you're speaking about academics or budget, you don't want someone talking about something else in the middle of that discussion. So ask them to raise their hand and speak on topic so that you stay focused on your agenda and the topic. Mentor new members. When people are coming in for the first time, sit beside them. Offer to help, offer to bring them up to date. Offer to let them know what's going on in the school. Did they want to walk around and have a tour with you? You know, they want your phone number if they had questions about the next meeting or what was talked about tonight? Be a mentor. We tell our kids to be buddies, right? Have a buddy, be a buddy system. Same thing. Just sounds nicer for parents when we say mentoring. We've talked about refreshments. Greet people at the door for the chair, co-chair, any executive. It's nice if you're at that door shaking hands. Child minding. This is always an important one, especially in elementary school. I mean, I don't think you need too many grade 9s and 10s babysat, although sometimes I thought my children should have had a babysitter. But definitely in elementary school, and use your secondary school students. They need those hours. They don't know how to get them often, and they can come into your school, babysit in the room right next to where you're having the meeting, and they get the school hours. The school council chair or the principal can sign off on those hours as community hours. And always take suggestions from members for the next meeting. Don't leave your agenda at the end of the night without saying, is there anything you'd like to see on next month's agenda? Regulation 612 actually only says, who knows Regulation 612 pretty well? Okay, that's another night then. So Regulation 612 is the legislation affecting the operation of school councils in Ontario. And that regulation is what says how things have to be done, when they have to be done, and sets guidelines around proper school councils. And the reason it was brought into play was the recognition by the Ontario government that parents play a vital role in partnering in the school. So it gave some legislation and some boundaries around engaging parents at the school council level. And it worked very well for parents. So it's something you might want to have a read up on. I think there's a link in one of our newsletters you've got tonight. But it only requires 4 meetings per year. I don't know about you, but I don't get very engaged when I'm going to go somewhere every 3 months or every 2.5 months. You need to meet regularly so that parents know every month there's going to be a meeting. And if that's not welcome at your school, you need to sit down with the principal and tell them that the reason you're doing that is to get parents involved and let them be true partners in the school. Because if they're meeting in October and they're not meeting again till January, those 15, 20 people you had in your council, you're having 3 in January. Because that spontaneity and that enthusiasm you created at the beginning of the year is fizzled out in the next 3 months. So really try to work on having many meetings. These are just some of the things that schools are talking about right now. And you notice fundraising really isn't on the list. We know our schools need funds. We know our students need support. And we are very grateful to parents who get involved in fundraising. But it is not the role of the school council. The school council's role is one thing: partnering with the school to increase student achievement. End of story. The fundraising is a needed and welcome addition to school council work or subcommittee work. But the school council was developed in Ontario to increase student achievement, to get parents engaged, to work with the school and their children to increase student achievement. Now I've given you a whole list, it's not coming out on here, but it printed out okay. Monthly topic suggestions. When I train, I have many people go, well, it sounds good to have a meeting. I don't know what to talk about every month. I run out of ideas. So I'm giving you some ideas. Every month, here's an idea. Who to invite. I'd like to talk about April. Now, March, we generally don't have a meeting, but it's nice to send out a letter saying, have a great school break. We hope you're coming to the school council meeting on April, blah, blah, blah. And, please be safe and healthy during your break. It's another chance to communicate. In a month, you're not going to have a meeting likely. But April, we have EQAO coming up. One of the best meetings I went to, a school council meeting, which I went to as a speaker actually, they had the grade 3 and 6 teacher come in to that meeting. And they talked about how they're prepping their class for EQAO. And whether you agree or disagree about the theory of standardized testing, the fact is it's happening in our schools, and until it doesn't happen, our children will be writing the tests. But it was one of the best attended and most valuable meetings I ever attended. They had both the grade 3 and 6 teachers speak. They told them what they were doing at school, and they also told them what they as parents could do to support their children. So it doesn't have to always be outside people you get to come in and speak. When your teachers are speaking, you're going to get people to come to your meetings. If your JK teacher, SK teacher are going to come and talk about what play learning is like in kindergarten, you're going to get kindergarten parents coming out to hear that. The other thing about doing EQAO prep as a school council is if you go on the EQAO website, eqao.com, there are all kinds of resources on there for parents. Sample testing, parent resources, that sort of thing. It's a very valuable website. And as a school council, you could have someone in your academic committee research that website, get the links, and put them in a document to present at that meeting in April. So it's not who has the power, be it the parents or the principal. School councils in Ontario are all about the partnership of parents and principals.